Who is Riverside Productionz? Riverside Productionz is a team of people. Actually, it's just one person, which is me, myself, Ginger, and that's spelled with J-I-N-J-A-A. The name came from basically me living by the riverside, which I still do. I live by the River Thames. I won't say where. And then just me making beats really, so making productions, put two and two together and came up with the name Riverside Productionz. I first started getting into music production about 2-3 years ago now. I've always actually been into music. I started playing the guitar from the age of 12, been singing for quite a while now, also learned how to play the keyboard at 15, and I've progressed. Actually when I was 19, I was just on the computer one day and I accidentally came across a program called Fruity Loops. I downloaded it, some trial version, and started messing about with it really. Started learning how to just make beats and learning how to arrange them, and just getting into different genres of music. Then I met a guy a year later. Actually, he was my neighbour, and he just said to me, yeah, I make beats as well. So I was like, cool. One day he came around and he just started introducing me to new things. Showed me like new to me, a software called Reasons, and people that produce will be familiar with that software. And just from there I started getting into that software and just merging into all different kind of things, mainly softwares, and learning how to use them and construct some beats and all those kind of things, and just built up from there really. And I suppose now I could say that looking back, it's just been a progression really. Artists and producers that have influenced my music. I've listened to a lot of music growing up, from like 1950s rock and roll to 70s soul, 80s electro to 90s hip hop. So I've got a vast number, or you could say a vast knowledge of music. I've listened to a lot of genres, I've listened to a lot of styles, and pretty much I've implemented that all into my music today. So from the way I play guitar, from the way I play piano, to the way that I sing, it's all from the different music that I've listened to. But if I'm going to mention names for the producing side of things, I'd say that Timberland, he's influenced me a lot. I mean, like the first time I got into beats, he was like one of the first producers that I checked out, and I was like, you know, I really like this guy's beats and that. Dr. Dre, I like his beats. Scott Storch, kind of the Arabian style, which ain't really too popular these days, but still waiting for what he does. And a few English producers as well. And yeah, man, so it's a lot of different pieces of the cake which given me my influences in my music. That's about it. No, there isn't a secret formula to my beats. A lot of people ask the question, is there a secret formula? The thing with making beats and productions is every producer has their signature sound, and to some people that sound is going to really inspire them to where they might say that that producer has a secret formula. I think any producer's secret formula is just the way how they make their beats, okay? It's just like your mum's recipes. You know, the way that your mum cooks a certain dish, no one else can do it. Well, it just goes to taste really. You know, some people like it, some people don't, and some people say, oh, that person has a secret formula to their beats because it inspires them or they like it. But as far as I'm concerned, like, there is no secret formula to my beats. It just comes naturally to me. But I mean, even if I did have a secret formula, I probably wouldn't be telling you, because I wouldn't want you to be making beats like me as well. No, I'm joking. No, there is no secret formula. The thing that sets aside a Riverside production beat from, say, a Joe Bloggs beat is I really focus on strong melodies and strong drum patterns. So for me, the melody is just as important on the track as the drum pattern. So when you hear a beat of mine, it's not just some random notes on the piano with a strong drum beat behind it, because a lot of people, yeah, they're really good at like making sick beats. And what I mean by a beat is I don't mean the whole thing, I just mean the actual drums. But then their actual melodies on top of it, or the sample that they've chopped up, just sounds completely incoherent. And it's a shame, because if I could have put my melody with their beat, we would have had a great production, and that's why a lot of people do collaborations. But getting back to the point, what sets my beat aside from other people's, and I don't want to be cocky about things, is that I make sure that all of the elements of the beat are strong. So that goes for the melody, the bass, the drums, the voice, etc, etc. I don't actually have a particular favourite beat of mine, because in my line of work so far I've done a lot of production work, and my beats are just there for people to use when they like. So I've got beats online where people can just sort of download for free and make tunes with them and then post to me and say, look, this is what I've done. Most of the time they do justice to my beats. So in terms of my favourite beat, well, personally, one of them would be The Promoter. And you can actually find this beat online if you go to my YouTube channel, Crazy G Records, or just type in Riverside Productionz and just go for the sneak bow instrumental. And the reason why it's under as the sneak bow instrumental is because when I played the beat to someone before, they said, oh, that beat sounds like Sneak Bow could go over it. And if you don't know who Sneak Bow is, he's a rapper MC from Brixton, South London, and he's doing big things right now. Anyway, getting back to the point, that beat is probably one of my favourite. I wouldn't say it's my favourite, because I'm not one to say this and that is my favourite, but secretly you could say it is one of my favourite beats. Who would I like to work with? Starting off with the UK artists, I'd like to work with English Frank, Drew Blue, Sneak Bow I wouldn't mind working with. I'd like to maybe produce a track for Skepta. Low-key. Who else? Can't really think of too many other artists right now, but yeah, those are the kind of UK artists. Also Blade Brown as well. So if you're watching, guys, hit me up on my Twitter or YouTube account and we can sort something out. US artists, man, I'd like to work with people like Lil Wayne, Drake, Timbaland, Nicki Minaj. Who else? Some of the new artists now like Wiz Khalifa, Man, Big Sean. Yeah, I like to work with those people. So again, if you're watching this video on YouTube, hit me up on my page, Crazy G Records, Riverside Productionz. That's my beats right there. Anyone who wants to become a music producer, the best advice I can give to them is be sure that you love music, because there's no point doing something if you don't love it. The reason why I'm a music producer is I naturally love music. That's what I love to do. So if you love something, you're already halfway there. So yeah, the first piece of advice I can give to be a music producer, the most basic advice where you don't need anything, is just a little bit of love. If you have a passion for music, then that's a great start. Second thing would be learn your instruments. So it really helps when you know how to play an instrument when you're producing music, because you sort of know what you're doing. I know some people kind of say, well, when you start knowing exactly what you're doing, it kind of gets in the way of the production. Well, yes and no. You know, if you know how to play a nice little piece on the piano and then put a beat to it, okay, maybe it might not sound too original because you've learned it off somewhere else, but it does help with your music production. So yeah, learn an instrument, whether it be guitar, keyboards, piano or whatever. third piece of advice I would give is learn how to use software such as Fruity Loops, Reasons, Cubase. Once you know how to use one of these softwares, it's pretty easy to like use another piece of software. So I started off with using Fruity Loops, and then I got onto Reasons, and then Cubase, and then Logic, and then another one called Ableton Live. So learn how to use these softwares. I think they're referred to as DAWs, Digital Audio Workstations. Like the final piece of advice I would give to any music producer is listen to other music. Be current. So you don't want to be making music that sounds outdated and then be giving it to artists who are looking for new kind of music, because they'll just be like, you know what, yeah, the beat sounds really good, but to be honest with you, I'm looking for something a bit more current. So always stay current with your music, and that's the best advice I can give to anyone who is thinking about being a music producer. I can play keyboards, I play guitar, I also do some singing from time to time, but I kind of quit for a while, but I'm starting to get back into it again. I'd like to take some singing lessons and get my voice back on point. But yeah, I play guitar, been playing guitar now for almost 10 years, piano I've been playing now for like 6 years, also play bass and a little bit of drums. My future goals in terms of my music production or my music producing career, I'd really like to take my my company Riverside Productionz to the next level. Maybe start a record label where I have a group of people that I really trust, and we all use each other to have a great team of people which can help artists really. In this kind of new era now where digital age is growing, and the record labels are not really needed anymore, not unless really until a kind of higher level where you need a lot of distribution and promotion. You know, a lot of artists now are really making things happen for themselves just off their own bat really, through their own promotion and through their own shows and etc, etc. So yeah, for the future I'd really like to start my own independent record label. Will be called Riverside Productionz obviously, and yeah, I just want to carry on doing what I love most, and that's producing music and just working with people in terms of like music and helping them achieve their goal, because one of my qualities is listening to an artist and sort of telling them, look, this is what you need to do, and just trying to help them establish who they are, make them become a brand, because at the end of the day that's what is important when you're an artist or a producer or anything really that's to do with the music. You need to sort of know who you are and know what you're selling. You know, there's no point selling something if you don't know the product, because the customer's going to know that and they're not going to be interested. But yeah, my future goals would be to start my own record label, Riverside Productionz. So watch out for that, people.